Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and welcome to my review for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 5, which was titled, What It Always Is. So this episode is getting praised by a lot of people, and I agree, it's a really great episode, but I don't agree with people saying it's like one of the best episodes of all time. I think that's a little severe. I think the Negan scenes were fantastic. Everything about the Negan scenes were fantastic, and I was so invested in them. But the stuff with Daryl and Connie, it's good development, it's necessary, but it wasn't all that interesting to me. I wasn't glued to the screen like I was for the Negan scenes. And then the stuff with Magna and Yumiko and Kelly being on there, it's just, I didn't really care that much. But I understand it's necessary and I understand it needs to be there. Then we had the stuff with Ezekiel, of course. That was the other portion of the episode, and finding out that he has some sort of a cancer. I think it was like typhoid cancer. And unfortunately, that was spoiled for me from some asshole on Twitter who decided to come in my DMs and spoil a couple things for the episode because they were mad at me for disagreeing with them on a Walking Dead issue. And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's not really a fair way to take out your anger on someone because they disagree with you, but okay. So that was spoiled for me, unfortunately. But we found it out. It's an interesting storyline for Ezekiel, and it's interesting where it's going to go. I mean, it doesn't mean he's going to die anytime soon. He could survive a long time with it. It's just it's going to have some, downfalls to him. He's going to probably be struggling, He's going to be harder for him to fight because he might, get tired out. He might be coughing a lot. All these type of problems can happen, and they don't really have the best medical supply. I mean, they have medical supplies. They just don't have everything, and they're not going to have enough for every little issue, like something like typhoid cancer that might not really be easy for them to take care of, unfortunately. So, but that was a little interesting portion of the episode, and I was really invested in it. Daryl and Connie, cute and all, but like I wasn't in it. I wasn't like, let me get every bit of this. I wasn't really that interested. But they could be building this up for it to actually be a relationship, or they're just building it up for Connie to die, and then Daryl's gonna develop from it. It's either one of those. Since so many people love Connie right now, like people are in love with her character, I don't think they're going to kill her off anytime soon, I'm going to be honest with you, that maybe like seasons from now. But Kelly, on the other hand, could probably go any day now, to be honest. I don't know when. I think Luke is probably going to get it before, especially because he's going to Oceanside. I think something bad's going to go down there. But, we'll have to wait and see. So then we have the best part of the episode. The part that made me just so excited was everything with Negan and Brandon, of course. So Negan, the only problem I have with this story is the fact that it felt a little rushed, the whole Brandon thing. It's like, why did this just come out of nowhere? I know comic book readers knew what was going on, right? But like, it felt like it just came out of nowhere. They should have developed Brandon a little before, gave him some scenes with Negan. I mean, they had him yell at Negan once because he was on watch with him, but we never knew anything about him. We should have found out, maybe had a scene in episode 4 or episode 3 or something like that, where Brandon was watching Negan over in his cell, and Brandon talks to Negan about his dad, who was a savior, which I thought that was interesting how they made Brandon's dad a savior. That made sense for the story. That makes sense as to why he let him out and why he went out. But did he even let him out? Because now, rewatching the episode, I saw he said, how did you get out? You're going to tell me how you got out or something like that? That's what Brandon was telling Negan. So to me, it just seemed like he followed Negan out of there. But I think he let him out. Or maybe he meant he opened the cell for him, like he left it open, and then he just let Negan go, and then he was wondering how Negan got out, like, out of Alexandria. Maybe that's what he meant. I do think he let him out, of course. So that was mainly for the sake of, obviously, the story to how to get Negan out. That's what happened in the comics, but it was a little different in the comics. Brandon wasn't like some guy who was idolizing Negan. It was more so some guy who just wanted Rick dead, so he wanted Negan to go stir up this war with the Whisperers to get Rick killed in this war. And Negan didn't like that because Negan didn't want Rick to die. Negan was admiring Rick in the comics. You know what I mean? He was kind of friendly with him. And the same deal goes here. Brandon doesn't want these people hating on the Alexandrians and stuff like that. And then Brandon's all talking about like, oh, we want classic Negan back and all this type of stuff. And it's like, Negan doesn't want to go back to that. He wants to go back to the bat and the leather jacket because he loves that, but he doesn't want to go back to who he was exactly. And we know this because you can see the guilt on his face after Brandon kills the mother and the son. And you can tell because he was saying, oh, I knew what had to be done and I know this was like a test or whatever. And Negan felt like that was his fault because he used to be the type of person who would be influencing stuff like that. And Negan would never have done exactly what he did. He would never kill a kid and his mom just because because they had supplies. Negan would never do that. He knows people are a resource and stuff like that. So people saying, oh, that's what Negan used to do, but like, no, that's not what he used to do at all. He would kill people who he felt like had to die because it would have to kind of put other people in their place, but he never wanted to kill women. He never wanted to kill kids. The only reason he was going to kill Carl that one time is because of the fact that he knew it was the only way to put Rick in line, and he felt terrible about it. He was like, no, I don't want to do this. So yeah, Negan clearly has changed, and people who are saying, no, he only saved Judith, he only saved Lydia, he only saved Aaron because he knew it would make him look good for the community of Alexandria. That's a fair argument. Yeah, obviously he wasn't going to let Aaron die. Obviously, he might do things to try to save people to make himself look better so he can maybe be let out eventually. That's a fair argument. I don't think it's true. I think he actually saved them because he cares. He cares about Lydia. He cares about Judith. He cares about Aaron. He cares about all these people. But this episode proved all those people wrong because he did not have to save them. He did not have to do any of that. He did not have to save this lady when she was stuck in the car, but he did. It doesn't make him look good for Alexandrians. It doesn't make him look good for the Hilltop. It doesn't. There's not one bit of that makes him look good in this situation. He just truly cares now. He has morals, and he isn't who he was before. That's important to note. But man, I loved how they reused Negan's soundtrack in this episode. I love when they reuse like theme songs kind of a deal. And Negan had that little like guitar string theme that was always playing when he was around in previous seasons. And they had that play when Lucille came out, or bootleg Lucille, not the real Lucille, the one that Brandon made for him, which is still cool. I know it's not the OG Lucille. Apparently, I don't really think the OG Lucille exists anymore. I'm pretty sure it's just out in the open. I mean, that's what Michonne said. Michonne said that they just left her out there in the field where they fought in all-out war. So I guess maybe it's out there, unless Michonne was lying and she actually has it. Because we do see Michonne in the trailer holding Lucille, aiming it towards someone, but that honestly seemed like some sort of a dream sequence. I don't think that's actually real life. Maybe Michonne will have that dream sequence next episode. I just really don't think that was real life at all. But if it was, then that would mean she has Lucille. But I don't think she does. So we're going to have to wait and see. But that would be interesting if she did have it, because then maybe Daryl will get it or something. And then when they're fighting Beta, like maybe Negan's new bat will break or something, and then he'll see that Daryl has the OG Lucille, and he'll throw OG Lucille to Negan, and then Negan will use it against Beta. Something like that would be really cool if they have the OG Lucille, of course. Then he got the leather jacket back, which is awesome. And I really liked how they were developing this relationship between Negan and this other kid, because we know he loves kids, of course. That's just what they've been showing for the past season. They've been proving that Negan is just in love with kids. And so, of course, when Brandon kills him at the end of the episode, obviously that pissed the hell out of Negan, and Negan bashed his head in with a rock, which was one of the most satisfying kills in the entire franchise. I'm going to be honest with you, because Brandon was just a piece of shit. And all Negan's lines in this episode were great, man. I mean, he's got the best lines in the entire series, I think, personally. And then the end of the episode, when he went to fight the Walkers and against, the border, he was trying to get a fight with the Whisperers. He wants to pick a fight with them. And then he was like, little pig. Oh my God, I loved it. And then he was just swinging at them. And then Beta comes, throws him on the ground, and boom, we got Beta here. So that means we're going to get some Negan Beta, Negan Alpha scenes probably within episode 7 or 8. I don't think we're going to get it in the next episode. I think they're going to skip the story in the next episode. I hope they don't. We didn't get the next time on. I haven't seen the next time on yet. It didn't show at the end of the episode for some reason when I watched it, so I guess they're going to give it to us on Sunday. But regardless, it was a really just well done scene, and I'm really excited to see what happens with Negan and Beta and Alpha. I hope they have some of the similar lines as they did in the comics, like Frowny McTwo-Knives and all those different things that they were talking about. I'm really excited for that. I don't think Negan's going to kill Alpha. We'll talk about them in predictions, though, but I don't think he's going to kill Alpha, at least as of right now. If he does, I think it'll be within the next half of the season. I don't think they're going to, rush it right now and have it happen within the next few episodes. Not even the mid-season finale. I think it would be the second half at some point. But yeah, so this whole other part of the story that I want to focus on just a little bit with Magna and Kelly. Were they the two ones stealing supplies, or was it just Magna or something? And it was just in case, because I guess she said she didn't really trust the other people, because that's the problem I had with them not killing one of those group members on the Pikes. That's why I wanted one of that group members to die. That's why I wanted either Kelly to die on it. I wouldn't want Luke, because I love Luke too much. But Kelly or someone like that, because then it would actually develop the characters. But now it makes sense because they don't really have a fight to pick with these Whisperers. Like Magna at least is sitting here like, why are we picking a fight with them? Like we were not part of this group before, and then we came in and then this whole situation came up. I know Yumiko feels like she's a big part of them, and I'm sure Connie does now with Daryl and stuff like that, but I feel like Magna is just really just independent to herself, and she's like, okay, if something goes down, we need stuff outside of the hilltop so we can get to it and go. And that's, I think, what she had that stuff out there for, which makes sense for her character, so I kind of like what they did with that, but I just felt like it just felt out of nowhere. I don't know, but regardless, great episode. I'd give it like an 8.4 out of 10 maybe. If we're just talking about the Negan scenes, it's a straight up like 9.8 out of 10, but of course there's other stuff than just the Negan scenes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.